Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into Bon Kiara. It's a new luxury development, and it looks poised to really make some waves in the Mont Kiara property scene.
Absolutely. We've sifted through, well, quite a stack of your sources, articles, research papers, notes, really trying to pull out the crucial bits of info for you.
Right.
Our mission here for this deep dive is simple. Help you understand what's most important about Bon Kiara, whether you're looking at it as an investment or maybe thinking, could this be our next family home?
Okay, so let's start right there. What is Bon Kiara fundamentally? What's its core idea?
Right. So at its heart, Bon Kiara is a new luxury condo, low density, which is key. It's by Bon Estates, more of a boutique firm.
Okay.
And it's sitting on a pretty nice 4.15-acre freehold plot over on Bon Kiara 3. Now, the core value proposition, what they're really selling, rests on, I'd say, three main pillars. One, exceptionally spacious living. Two, these comprehensive Mediterranean resort-style facilities. And three, a real, forward-thinking commitment to sustainability and being genuinely pet-friendly.
Pet-friendly. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very clearly aimed at families needing larger spaces, maybe even multi-generational setups. That's a big part of its identity.
Exceptionally spacious. That sounds good, obviously. But what does that actually mean for you looking at a floor plan? What are we talking about?
Yeah, good question. This is where it gets interesting. Bon Kiara only offers large units. They call them sky homes.
Shy homes, okay.
And they start pretty big, 2,081 square feet. That's the starting point. Then they go right up to 4,652 square feet for the penthouses.
Wow.
And a really standout design feature is this thing called the lanai. It's basically an indoor balcony enclosed with floor-to-ceiling glass.
Ah, okay, like a sunroom.
Sort of, but it's designed to be super flexible. Think home office, indoor garden, maybe just extending your living area. It's meant to adapt to whatever you need.
That flexibility sounds like a real plus, especially these days. But okay, be on his face. You said they're a boutique developer. Making big promises in luxury, that takes, well, confidence. Do they have a track record that backs this up?
That's a fair point. Yeah, it's crucial. What's really interesting is looking at their flagship project, The Estate, over in South Bangsar.
Right, I've heard of that one.
Well, that project saw a pretty remarkable capital appreciation for owners, somewhere between 23% and 38%.
That's significant.
It is.
Yeah.
And maybe even more telling, it delivered a rental yield around 7%. That's quite strong.
Wow, 7%.
Yeah. So it's not just talk. It's a really relevant precedent for this kind of high-end, family-focused development. It shows they can, actually deliver.
Yeah.
Lends a lot of credibility to Bon Kiara's potential.
Okay, that definitely helps build confidence. Now let's pivot to location. Bon Kiara 3. That sounds like it might be a bit quieter, maybe slightly off the main drag in Mont Kiara.
You're spot on. Bon Kiara 3 does offer more tranquility, which honestly a lot of families prefer.
Sure.
But Bon Estates recognized connectivity is key, so they're actually funding a new access road themselves.
Oh, interesting. Where does that go?
It's going to link Bon Kiara 3 directly to Jalan Duta Kiara, so that really smooths out the access to the main commercial spots, the schools, everything.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, and on top of that, they're running a dedicated shuttle service. Plus, it's less than 500 meters from Garden International School. That's a huge plus for families.
It definitely takes the school run headache away. Okay, so balancing peace and practicality. What about features that really scream, future ready, things beyond the standard pool and gym?
Right, and this is where Bon Kiara, I think, really tries to stand out from the crowd. It's got a Green RE Gold certification for sustainability. That's solid. But digging a bit deeper, think about this. Every single unit gets its own individual electric vehicle charging isolator at its designated parking bay.
Wait, every unit, not just a few shared ones?
Every single unit. That's pretty forward-thinking. It tackles a real headache for EV owners in condos and make these places genuinely future-proof as more people switch to electric.
That's a major selling point.
Absolutely. And then there's the pet thing. It's not just pets allowed. They've actually built a dedicated on-site pet park.
A proper park.
A proper park. So it shows a real tangible commitment, not just lip service. It suggests they really understand how modern families live, pets included.
Those features do sound genuinely designed for how people live now or will soon. Okay, so let's bring it back to the money side. For someone maybe considering this as an investment, what's the bottom line here?
Well, Bon Kiara launched at a price point that was pretty competitive for the area, starting around RM 580 per square foot.
Okay, 580 PSF. How does that stack up?
Well, if you compare it to some other high-end places in Mont Kiara, like, say, Pavilion Mont Kiara, which might start closer to RM 1000 or RM 1200 PS.
Right.
Bon Kiara offers really good value in terms of price per square foot, especially given how large the units are. Our projections, we're seeing a potential gross rental yield of somewhere between 5.2% and 6.7%.
That's a strong yield.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Driven largely by expected demand from expat families who need those larger spaces. Now, the main thing for investors to keep in mind
Yeah.
is the absolute purchase price. Because the units are large, the total quantum is high. So it requires a pretty significant capital outlay to get in.
That's a really crucial point. Excellent value on a PS basis, but the overall ticket price is substantial. So that likely means it's targeting a specific type of investor, right? Someone with deeper pockets or a longer view.
Exactly. You're probably looking at more sophisticated investors, perhaps those with a longer-term buy-and-hold strategy, or even families buying now with plans to move in later. The expat rental demand for these big family-sized units often means higher rents and stable tenants, which supports that long-term view.
Makes sense. Okay, wrapping this up then. What really stands out to you about Bon Kiara? It seems clear it's aiming squarely at families wanting space, luxury, and those future-focused features. And for investors, a solid long-term play if they have the capital.
Yeah, I think that's right. And connecting it to the bigger picture, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much weight do you give a developer's specific, proven track record with a particular type of project, like Beyond Estates with the estate, compared to just, say, a big, well-known brand name? Does that targeted success matter more to you?
That's a great question for reflection. So for you, the listener, wanting to make the best decision, our advice: definitely verify the final pricing directly with the sales team. Go see the show unit, feel the space, check out that lanai. And importantly, take a drive to the actual site on Jalan Kiara 3. Get a real feel for the location, the surroundings, that quieter vibe we talked about.